just looking at this hair, I'm going, I gotta do something. I gotta do something different. It's crazy. Some places it looks like a bald on top. It's just like, I mean, come on. This one this morning was just standing straight up for no reason at all. It's like, hello, I'm up here. And it's just standing up there. I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy. The back looks horrible. I don't have to look at the back, but other people look at the back. And then I turn around. There's that one standing up. I turn around. They're like, at me. I'm like, you know what? It's a bad hair day in the back. I don't have so many. I mean, there's a few loose hairs in the front. I don't have so many loose hairs going on. Let's see. March to April, May, June, July. Barely, almost August. I'm about 5 months in now. And everything's pretty much in its right place. I've got a bead. There's a bead in there somewhere. There's a bead in here. And from here to here, this is my grow out. And from here down, this is my matted up section. So this is my 24 inches. This is how much is grown out. And it is like a perfectly round, beautiful, smooth. So each one of these, there's some loose hairs. They have about that much of niceness. And they're all about the same. It's just like niceness and then nastiness. And then you've got, I think you can see them in the light. That's why I like sitting by this window. Some of these suckers, they like, the ends of them are just insane. They're really trying their best to mat everything up. But I'm really contemplating having professional maintenance done on my dreads. Or I should call them locks, as I was told that I need to call them locks because they're not dreads, because dreads is a sad thing and whatever. I call them my dreads. I'm not stereotyping. I'm not being disrespectful. They've always been dreadlocks. They're locks. I love them. I don't dread them. There's nothing bad about them. People choose to make them, to have them, to not have them. It's not a racial thing. It's just hair. It's a hairstyle. Get over it. But yeah, I'm getting a little mangy looking. I want to go back to school looking clean and tidy, and it's kind of getting frustrating. I only have a few more weeks until I go back to school, but everything is shrunk up and it's so short. It's hard. Like these ones, by the time they get to my ponytail, I'm only ponytailing like this much. So like, it's just the wispies. And if I pull the bottoms up, it's the same thing. They're so short. These ones back here are so short that by the time they're pulled up into my ponytail, it's just wispies. My ponytails are still, this big around because there's so much in the mats in the middle, but the perimeter is just short. I have to look presentable. So it might be time to get creative. I don't like wearing bandanas and headbands. I think it's a cop-out. It's like, okay, this is my hair. Love me or leave me. I'm clean. The headbands that I have really smush my hair and they leave them flat. And then I have to like re-roll them all. It's like this one. See how wide it is? But then you turn it sideways and it's narrow because it's like, it's not round. And it's the grow out section is flat. And I might have some flat dreads. That's fine. I don't even care. I've got some weird sections going on back there. This one's still, this is the original one. It's still trying to like split and make it into two. And it may split into two. I don't know. I keep trying to put it back into one. And I roll it and I rub it. And I do whatever I can do to make it into one. But I don't know if they're going to do what they want to do. I had a nightmare last night. I woke up and all of mine had split. And I had twice as many to deal with. It's hard enough to deal with the ones I have. I have 42 currently. I have a bunch of loose hair in the back, all this, that I have a feeling will eventually end up either going into one, that one's the long one, going into one of my lower ones, or just going in and making a new one. Anyways, everything's kind of wonky and out of sorts. I get a headache if I pull them up now. If I leave them up all day, like I traveled all day and I had them up, and I was just like such a relief to get them down and like shake them out. It makes them lay strange when the headbands push on them. It's just, I put them in a bun. I don't know. I kind of get them up out of the way. Terry spent a whole day looking into all the salons in our area and to see who does maintenance. And every single one of them says they do maintenance. But I told them, I said, we need to go from place to place and talk to them and see what they say. He then asked me what the difference was between dreadlocks and locks. I'm like, the word dread. He was saying one salon had said that dreadlocks are ones that form by natural matting, and locks are created with like rip and twist. Okay. Backcombing, crocheting, whatever. He also said that dreads are unkept and messy. And I was like, well, I kind of fit into that qualification because these things are a hot mess. But you can do what you got to do. I roll them when I shower. I wash them in the daytime so they have plenty of time to dry. There's some wispies back there. There's some loose hairs back there. That's new. They'll find their way. They always find a way home. Anyways, I take care of them. I wash them twice a week, sometimes 3 times, sometimes once. Average twice a week. I run my fingers through them. I make sure they're not, mating up and connecting to each other. No frenzies. I take good care of them. But they're just teenagers. You know how teenage children are. So teenagers in the hair system. I'm 5 months in. I have another 7 months to go before they might start settling down. Hopefully they settle down sooner than that. But I'm in it for the long haul. My daughter-in-law asked me, well, what would happen if you didn't want them anymore? I said, then I'd comb them out. She goes, well, what would your hair look like? I'm like, just like yours. Because she has straight hair too. And she's like, oh, really? I said, it doesn't damage your hair. It just tangles it up. And my son, he looked at me and he goes, no, I don't like it. I'm like, okay, you don't have to like it. I'm not married to you and you're not my boss and I don't really care what you think. So you're an adult, you live with your wife and your kids. And it's my hair and my husband loves them. So he's really grown to appreciate them. But anyways, so 5 months and we're still going and it's still crazy. I'm looking forward to when they're long enough and I can, unfortunately, chop off these bits and just have the nice, straight, even ones. By the time they're long enough to do that, I'll probably be like, no, I'm so in love with them. I'm going to keep them all. This one with the bead on it is really difficult because if it's in the wrong spot and I put my Harley helmet on, it actually drives the bead into my head because it's a pretty decent sized bead. But it's a glass bead. We found them at a flea market last weekend and I love them. But anyways, I will bid adieu for today. Here's to a healthier, happier, you and me.